We're excited. Hi, Barbara from Plano. You're in my neck of the woods. Welcome, everybody. We are talking about stem cells. My name is Jason Barreco. I'm here in Frisco, Texas, and we are coming to you live in a promotional series of calls. We have actually 3 more calls to go from the time that Dr. Jeff will be going into the Philippines and doing some live stem cell presentations. So let's talk about stem cells and what's all the buzz happening about stem cells and going on with that. The next slide, Doc. You can just go through this. The news media has done a phenomenal job as talking about the miracle benefits of stem cells, and man, in all the countries throughout the world, everyone has heard about the benefits of stem cells. Most people just don't know what they are or have access to them. They've heard about them, and it's quite remarkable. And what we're talking about is the benefits of stem cells and what they can do. They are the cell that next slide, Doc. They are the key to making your body stay young. They repair and regenerate damaged cells. That's really the key. The older that we get, the less stem cells we have. By the time you're 35, you've lost 50%. By the time you're 60, you've lost 90% of your stem cells. And as Dr. Jeff's going to go through the actual product and what it does and how it works, but it's the one cell in your body that has the ability to transform into different cells. If you have your heart needs repair, your kidneys need repair, they can actually transform or transmute into different cells of the body. That's why they're so vitally important to have that. Next slide, Doc. Now, when you look at how to increase stem cell activity, there's only a few options. Number one, most of the articles have been done on injections. They are painful, they're expensive, and they are risky with no guaranteed results. Now, I did this path. I had hip pain for about 5 years prior to me being introduced to this technology. I did the stem cells. I did the stem cell injections after trying everything under the sun. I wasn't able to get the results. I spent $9,000. I was still had pain in my hip. And when I was introduced to this technology, I was skeptical, but I wanted to try it. And I did try it. And thank God I did, because of the results that I got. And then there's also supplements on the marketplace that will talk about stem cells and stem cell activation. There's no clinical studies. I've never seen a product on the market that has clinical studies backing it like our technology does. Let's go to the next slide, Doc. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Jeffrey Hubbard, and I'll keep letting everybody in and managing it. And he's going to talk about the technology and what it does. Now, Dr. Jeff is a medical doctor. He has over 10,000 hours invested in the study of this technology. He is truly a leading expert in stem cells and what he is doing, and he's excited to bring this technology to the world. And mainly right now we are focused on Indonesia and the Philippines. We're very excited about what we're doing with that marketplace, and of course throughout the United States. But Dr. Jeff has had extensive background in researching this technology, and I'm going to turn the presentation over to him and have him share his insights on this technology and what it does. Dr. Jeff, it's all yours, my friend.
Thanks so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you are in the world. Thanks so much for joining and supporting this discussion. I think it's so valuable and vital to begin to discuss this futuristic way of improving your body's ability to heal itself and to function on different levels. And so X39 is a technology that has been around since the early 2020. And guys, the results are just simply phenomenal. People are noticing all sorts of benefits that we'll get into in just a few moments, but these dynamic patches. They're about the size of a United States quarter. And when you apply them to certain acupuncture locations on your skin, they provide all sorts of unique benefits. And the core components of this is that really that it's safe. There's no drugs or chemicals that cross the skin barrier. It's natural. It stimulates your body to increase certain molecules that we call endogenous. Endogenous simply means that those molecules are already produced by the body naturally. You're just enhancing the production or the proper utilization of those molecules. All right, it's easy to use. It's 12 hours on, 12 hours off, no big deal. It's like a light versus dark cycle. And so you're giving your body this unique light frequency for 12 hours a day. Obviously, there's no invasive injections or anything like that, similar to other products on the market. And the reality is that in comparison to other types of stem cell therapy, it's really affordable. And so Mr. Schmidt is a world-renowned researcher and inventor. He's got over 100 patents. He's been tinkering with this technology for 18 years now, almost 20 years. And the amount of patches that are created is really exciting. There's 12 different patches. The X39 and what we discuss here on this channel is just the most dynamic of all of the 12. It's the show pony, it's the rock star of all of the technologies available from Lifewave. So let's dive into a little bit more about how the technology works. This is a scientific term, photobiomodulation. It simply means the ability for light to change or modulate the way our biology functions, okay? So within this patch, you'll see there's a fabric mesh, okay? You can see that there. That fabric mesh is covered with a proprietary blend of organic materials. You can think of it like a liquid nanocrystal. And these are designed to reflect certain frequencies of near infrared light back into the skin. So the technology is actually activated by our body heat. So unbeknownst to me, there is a form of light that we emit 24/7, 365 days a year. And this technology simply harnesses that light, that body heat, and repurposes it back into the skin in order to create this really dynamic result, changing your physiology and your biochem. So, photobiomodulation, light therapy is not unique to Lifewave. This is a science that has been a part of our culture for millennia. This is why we have an association with the sun. So when you have a skin tan, when you stand in the sun for prolonged periods of time, your skin gets darker. That is the increase in melanin. That is an example of photobiomodulation. The fact that we produce vitamin D when we stand in direct sunlight is another example of photobiomodulation or light therapy. And so this technology simply uses that scientific principle to create these dynamic changes that we see with our Lifewave members. So GHK copper peptide is one of the molecules that is increased with the use of X39. So we talked about these endogenous molecules. GHK is one of them, and it was first identified by Dr. Laurent Picard, who's on the scientific side of medicine. And he's been coined the term back the clock doc, right? Because he was the one who began to explain to the scientific community what exactly GHK copper peptide is capable of doing. 4,192 different genes. It impacts gene expression. Guys, that is so powerful. I mean, let me just take a moment and explain to you that is dynamically powerful, because all of these different genes that this particular molecule is engaging, they all have some wellness related or health related improvement, whether it's decreasing something that we don't want or whether it's increasing something that we do want. GHK copper peptide does a multitude of things and literally helps to promote collagen and elasticity of skin, changes in our cognitive ability and our memory function. One of the most powerful things that most people say is their first example of what's happening with X39 is their sleep improves. And there's been some really dynamic research to show that blood pressure is regulated and circulation is improved as well. So let's go through a few examples. You know, the proof is in the pudding, right, guys? So here's some examples of the 8 core things that Lifewave really promotes this X39 to be capable of doing based upon the clinical research and the multitude of testimonials about the technology. So first is skin appearance. You know, some might call it beauty, but we just think about it as getting younger. And that goes hand in hand with the wrinkle reduction. With a lot of our ladies and gentlemen as well, we see quite a bit of reduction in the way that their skin is performing, and the elasticity, the strength, the tightness, et cetera. You'll see that in the coming slides. Wound healing is one of the most biggest aspects or benefits of the X39. And we'd like to share with the surgical community in the Philippines, in Indonesia, about how this technology could be really dynamic in helping with post-surgical wound healing and prevention of infection, okay? Hair growth, you know, everybody would like a fuller, more healthy head of hair, right? So we'll see some examples of hair growth, and that's something that's very popular with our X39 users as well. We talked about sleep and getting appropriate rest. Energy and vitality go hand in hand with sleep. Really excited about the way X39 helps us to exercise and be more vibrant. A lot of our Lifewave family are seniors and have aches and pains and different musculoskeletal concerns, and there's dramatic impact on that as well. And last but not least is our athletes. Sports and performance and physical activity go up exponentially. So just to kind of further that discussion, we've got so many different professional athletes who identify with Lifewave and who wear patches in their respective competitive sports and are seeing dramatic improvements and results. And so we just want to give a shout out to all of those major athletes who are in support of Lifewave. All right, so let's dive into this, and so we can get to a little bit of question and answer before we let you guys go this morning. So wrinkle reduction. Look at these dramatic results, and you can see the timestamps. And where else can you see in just a year and a half? This lady looks maybe a decade younger. She looks vibrant. There's a different twinkle in her eye. She really is benefiting dramatically from the X39. Same thing with these two ladies. Look at the difference in those hands. That is really dramatic. You can see that the elasticity and collagen that X39 produces is really doing a lot for this lady's hand, and the way that circulation is getting to her extremities. Her face is much less wrinkled there, and same thing with this lady on the left in just 3.5 months. Okay, you can kind of see, not kind of, you see a pretty dramatic result here from left to right with this lady's neck. And there's all sorts of problems with our venous drainage system and the way that blood gets back to the heart. And sometimes those valves don't work appropriately, and you can kind of see this venous stasis like we see in this lady's leg. And then look, just 1 month later, all of that circulation has improved. Those veins are no longer sluggish. All right, hair growth. I mean, these captions just speak for themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the improvement in these guys' hair. I mean, some of these guys are almost bald, and in just a couple of 3 months, there's really a dramatic improvement. And I know this lady, she's down in Las Vegas, and I was able to appreciate the volume of her hair. It's just really dramatic, the changes that she saw in just a couple of months. All right, here's some wound healing. Now, as I was mentioning before, look at this open rotator cuff repair, just 30 days. Look how much there is improvement in the way that that scar looks. And this lady had some surgeries to her neck, and you can see the dramatic improvement there as well. Oh, look at this car accident, just 2 months, and you virtually cannot even appreciate that they had this huge laceration. And this young man got his finger caught in the door, and his parents were concerned that they were going to lose that finger. And here now, in a short period of time, you can see that that finger is completely repaired. You can barely see that there's even stitches or anything. And last but not least, don't forget our pets, our furry friends. They are also benefiting from the X39 and can even benefits from previously used patches. So what most of us do is we put our patches on ourselves, and then when the time has come to take that patch off, we would traditionally throw it away. You can now attach it to the collar, as you can see with the cat, or you can to their underbelly or someplace where there's no fur, and the patch can stick effectively. Guys, the real magic with this, as Jason mentioned earlier, is that this technology has been tested over and over and over again and has passed with flying colors. You and I both know that in order for you to achieve patent status, you have to produce very significant evidence to support what it is you're saying that you have and what you're doing that's different than anybody else. So to have a global patent for 20 years on this technology, to have 90 plus clinical trials and studies, and to be able to support all of this with amazing experiences and testimonials, this company is on its way to the top, guys. And we're really excited about the opportunity to be global distributors and ambassadors for this company. And we can talk on and on and on about this, but we want to make sure that we cover some questions and maybe get into a little bit of the business. So I'm going to hand the mic back over to Jason and let you guys continue to hear from one of the masters, the gurus in marketing and business. And so we appreciate Jason's time as well and guiding us on how to make sure we're getting to the right people.
Thank you, Dr. Jeff. We'll go through, let me just touch base. I appreciate all you're doing for this, the team and spreading the word here. We'll go through the business real quickly, and then hopefully we have some time for some questions and answers with Dr. Jeff. Most importantly, let's always cover this disclaimer. These statements are not endorsed or recommended by any authority, FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. They are just for informational purposes only. Please do not disregard any medical advice that you have received or delay of seeking because of something you have read or on our websites. Next slide, Dr. Jeff. Now we can just go to the next one real quick. Let's talk a little bit about the companies that we talked about that. It was founded in 2004. Dr. Jeff went through the background of it. As established, it's actually, this is a manufacturing plant in Ireland. And what I like about this photo, they've got about 90,000 square feet under roof of manufacturing and offices. They can produce $1 billion worth of product right now. They control the supply chain. They can produce $1 billion of wholesale dollars right now. So they are ready for some big growth. And they're shipping to over 75 countries. They have offices in Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong. They have Philippines. They're expanding their office in Philippines. They just opened up an office in Thailand. They're going to be opening up Indonesia very soon. So we're excited about what's happening with these marketplaces. Most importantly, it's a game changer. It's what's happening is it's technology that we've achieved what multi-billion-dollar companies have not been able to achieve. As Dr. Jeff mentioned, we have a 20-year patent, no competition, one-of-a-kind technology. And you have to understand, this took 10 years to create. Trial, error, studies, finances. Took $4.2 million to produce and create this technology that we have right now. And then when it was released in January of 2019, just less than 3 years ago, 30 million patches sold first. 30 million. just amazing what it's done. When you look at the market and the global expansion, you know, when you look at the stem cell market as this aging population, which we're all part of, it's a multi-billion-dollar market. And you can see how the sales of Lifewave have drastically increased since the launch of it. You know, they've gone from 20 million a year to 30 million a month. That's what they're doing right now. And so we are on track to become the next billion-dollar brand. Just got a text as Dr. Jeff was talking. Thailand had opened up just 16 weeks ago. Last week they did $64,000 in sales. They're going to break 5 presidentials. That's a rank that we have in just a few months. Options of getting started. I would really recommend that, you know, there's 2 retail. We don't really recommend retail, but it's good to have. We recommend preferred customer because you save $50. There is a monthly recurring order, but you can cancel it anytime. So there's no pressure, no long-term requirements at all. And both of those options have a 90-day money-back guarantee. And then if you want to get in as a business builder and start promoting it and create a business like we do, there's a couple options. I think each country has about 5 or 6 different options, but check your back office, get with the person who wants to do that. But if you want to go to if there's a silver pack that you can use, we recommend that one. You get 3 sleeves, you get a free membership, so you and your spouse can use one. You have one to sample away. There's a gold pack. That's a great option also. That's about $500. You get a free sleeve of product with that, and a free membership. And then also the diamond pack. That's more the business builder type option. And it's the best value because they load it up with $400 of free product. You're qualified for 3 months, but you actually qualify for the fast start income, which every diamond pack you earn $500, and you get that for 14 weeks. Either option or any option, most importantly, get on the technology. I tell you, my 30 years of being involved in the nutritional industry, moving $1 billion worth of nutritional products. This is the one product that I recommend to everyone for life, because it's just keeping you staying young. I want you to think global. We're in 75 different countries. Again, we're focused on the Philippines and Indonesia with this call, but there is 75 countries we're opened up into and selling product throughout the world. So very exciting. Dr. Jeff, why don't we stop the screen share? And if there's any questions or not, we try to keep these calls to about 30 minutes. If you do, maybe we stop the recording. If you do have a question for Dr. Jeff, and he has a little bit of time to answer that, that would be great. And we'll